What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Whatever, you can see I'm already down and dirty because I was painting the brake calipers, which came out pretty good. Like I said, filming on that, but that died, so I'm on a GoPro now. No mic set up because, like I said, we down here, down and dirty. And as I was painting the brake calipers, the control arms came in the mail. So these are the F80, F82 style control arms. I'll go over why I want these control arms in the first place and what's the benefits of them. Number one, just right off the bat, when the guy gave me the box, it was super light. I was so shocked and surprised at how light it was because I don't know, I was just expecting metal components, but these are aluminum. They are super light. They're going to be replacing the F30 control arms, obviously, on my car. Longer, and it looks like it curls a little bit more. You can tell it flexes. So here might start off straight, but it kind of curves a tad bit. This right here is for the right side of the car. I'm going to go ahead and show you guys how to install it the best I can. If you guys want a more in-depth professional style video, definitely check out Keys Motorsports. And for a hell of an explanation to what these do, check out Thick F30. Here you're going to get my perspective and my vision of it, kind of blended into both the install and perspective. So with that being said, like I said, first off, you can tell it's a nice little chunky piece. Looks a lot more firm. These bushings are a lot different. They are sealed bushings as opposed to these ones being exposed or subjective to cracking because of the weathering. But yeah, so we're gonna go ahead and jump into installing these because, like I said, I have it all out. Now the easy part about this, well, the best thing about this is it is essentially 2 bolts. Yeah, no, I see that.
It's not gonna stay there.
Alright, so now, not even gonna lie, I just cheated a little bit. I used the impact because I broke my T35. So essentially, hopefully the GoPro has good enough lighting. Alright, so that's how, that was one long bolt. So essentially this was the bolt that had to come out of here. And we have the piece right here. One is dirty and one is clean. No, but essentially this one's a little heavier. Actually, whoa, it's actually a lot heavier than this. I thought this was all aluminum. Maybe I was wrong, who knows. But yeah, so essentially this is the difference. We ain't gonna waste any time because I gotta make the interact. So we're gonna go ahead and throw this on and move on with our lives. We're gonna use the same bolts. Just to show you a little something. You can tell why this is the control arm. Now, if something like this would get bad, this is with it off. Say I'm gonna go ahead and turn the, you see the steering, the tie rod isn't turning, but the whole assembly is turning. So essentially, that's the type of play you would feel when it becomes bad. It wouldn't react so sharp, and that's what these bushings do as well. These are the old bushings, the open ends that's prone to like cracking. If you could look inside there, if you can see inside there. But like I said, so this is the type of shimmy it would give you. This is with no control arm on. Mind you, like I said, the wheel isn't twisting at all. The whole thing is just pivoting. Here you go. Gonna go ahead and get this sucker in there tight. Back to the right height. And the main reason why we are doing that is because this bar is designed with these bushings to be torqued down at the approximate right height of the car. You don't want to do it while it's sagging down, because if you do, it'll add more tension on the bushings right there. And before I put the wheel on, I'm actually gonna go ahead and get the barrel a nice clean, well, the whole wheel, but not often I take off my wheels, so might as well do a good cleaning in here. A ceramic coating. Wow, that's crazy. You can actually see the way the water is reacting. See it beating up? Oh wow, I might have to recommend that product to you guys now. One little difference is if you guys take a look right here, there's the headlight sensor. So what I'm gonna do first is I'm just gonna go ahead and pop that off. So to take the sensor off for the headlight adjuster sensor, you go ahead, there's a 9mm little end tab. Whoa, whoa, whoa. There's a 9mm end tab right here on the top. So it goes like this. And the inside and on the outside is a 10mm nut. You put a wrench on each side, you twist off, comes off, so you got that out of the way. And what we're gonna have to do is take out this screw and made it in here now, like so. And I need to find another screw because it didn't come with one, so it's gonna suck. Look at that right here. You can see I'm gonna zoom in. No, I'm gonna walk up. You can tell, first thing you can tell when you're driving it is, look at that. Definitely notice the camber on that. And when you're coming down the street, it kind of matches the back a little bit. Far down, you guys can see it, hopefully. You can see the front wheels kind of poke out on the bottom. Oh man, it makes the car look super dope. I had plans on changing the color on this thing, but I just can't get over the silver. It still might happen, but the silver is just, it's just a beautiful color, I tell you. You know, I had to clean the car for you guys before I shot this video. I wasn't gonna have y'all out here looking at a dirty car like y'all normally do. So the car is just freshly washed. Freshly washed. Looking nice for y'all. Like, it looks dope. Like, I love the way this car came out. Sometimes I look at it and I go, how can I make this a little more different? Wherever the case may be, like, you know, add some color, some pop in there. It's kind of why I went with the red brake calipers right there. But yeah, I don't know, it just looks so nice as is. That front lip has to get painted. I said it a million times, I'm gonna say it a million times again. That front lip definitely has to get painted. I've just been slacking on that, honestly. Oh man. So some of the reasons why you would want to go with the lower control arm setup is because it adds about 1 degree of negative camber, and essentially what that would look like is the top of the wheel is flush with the fender and the bottom of the wheel kind of pokes out a bit. Now the reasons why you want to do that is, one, increased grip when you're turning, better steering feel. Essentially what happens is when the car is going straight, the full contact patch of that tire is actually on the ground when you have zero camber. However, when you corner and when you turn, the tire kinds of roll over, or like kind of like roll over the rim a little bit. So when you add that 1 degree negative camber or whatever negative camber, as long as it's not excessive, then you would get that full contact patch when you're cornering the car. So it's kind of like you got the full contact patch on the road when you're turning, if that makes sense. And that's when you really need it because, well, you don't want to understeer. BMW from factory, in attempt to try to control this car from oversteering a lot, has cambered the back wheels out automatically. I think it's about -2 degrees on the rear wheel drive models. The X-Drive, I'm not sure, correct me, or just go ahead and just write in the comments what that is. The steering is night and day. The open bushings that come with the F30 or F32 control arms, they're prone to cracking, and they are rubber bushing, whereas the ones in M3 and the M4 are sealed. It's like a solid unit type of thing. So trust me, you can feel that it translates into the road really nicely. The steering is a heck of a lot sharper, and I'm willing to push it a lot more with the 255s in the front and the -1 degree of camber on each side. Another thing which is really not useful to me as much, these are an aluminum control arm, so they are extremely lightweight. Now, the control arms that I took off weren't really that heavy to begin with, but I kind of noticed how light it was when I got the box. I almost thought that it was one, or just I got like a dud. It was nothing in the box. There were actually both control arms in the box, and it was like super light. It felt like it was just the weight of the box with some tissue inside, to be 100% honest with you. I was watching Thick F30's video. He actually stated that the wheels will push up a little bit, and he is in fact correct. Now, I looked at his car in his video. His wheel seems to have pushed up a little bit more than mine has. You really can't tell that it's further up in mine. However, it does rub when you hit a bump while you're in corner. I'll let you guys see how much clearance I have. I think with a lower profile or just a skinnier tire, it would not do that. However, I think I like the 255s so much that I'm gonna have to run those, because it just, I don't know, it just transforms the car. That's such wide tire in the front. Next thing you can expect is the inner tire wear. So the inside where the majority of the tire is on the road, the biggest part of the contact patch, it will be the inside, because the wheels kind of kank like that way. The inside is what gets bald first. So looking on the outside of the tire, you will not be able to tell the tire's bald. It kind of wears halfway on one side. The inside is going to go first. That's one of the cons about it. You have to check the insides at all times. Another thing is tram lining. Now this just happens when I got the wide tire set up in the first place, but tram lining, that's where the car kind of follows the grooves in the road or the crowns of the road. So if the roads, which typically most of them are higher in the center, and they kind of swoop down on the edges for draining purposes, but you will notice your car will kind of tend to follow those lines or the grooves in the roads, imperfect roads, whatever the case may be. The two last things, one is that this kit, specifically I got it from ECS Tuning, about $455, did not come with the extra bolt to secure the headlight position sensor. So what I decided to do is I just zip tied it and then try to go to Home Depot and find a little screw that might fit. Last thing is that I got this car aligned at N-Track. Now it's very, very, very important that when you do this, if you do it at your house, please make sure this car is like less than a mile away from the alignment shop. I had to drive 3 miles an hour to the alignment shop. It wasn't that far. However, it screws the alignment up crazy. Now you can do an eyeball alignment, and I'll kind of show you guys how to do that maybe in another video, but you can do an eyeball alignment where you just kind of jack it up, put the wheel in the right direction for the most part, and lower it down, and then take it to the alignment shop and get it serviced there. However, you cannot drive this car, I stress that 100 times, you cannot drive this car after putting these control arms on with no alignment. It's undrivable. The control arm bar is like the pivot point of the hub, the tire, whatever you want to call it, the wheel. So essentially, when you move it out a bit, tie rods are just set to a certain length. When the wheel is straight, just like this, when you push it out a little bit more, it's going to pull in on the tie rods and kink the wheel in, and that's exactly what happened. Both of the wheels kinked in, and it makes the car undrivable. The two tires are fighting to drive into itself, if that makes any sense. One of the guys, he recommended that I try to look for extended tie rod end, just because it had to push out the tie rod end, or extend the tie rod end, a lot actually. There was a lot of toe in, so that they straightened it out, but they advised that a hard driving, or maybe hit a serious bump, it may bend the tie rod. So I'll look into that, see if they have extended tie rods. I've noticed a lot of people have done this mod to their car, or this modification, or retrofit, whatever you want to call it, and they have not required that. However, I'm going to take my guys' words for it at N-Track, because they are professionals and I am not. So yeah, I don't want to, kill myself in the road. So I will definitely research that a little bit more, see if people ran extended control tie rods, see if they are available, or whatever the case may be, and we will move from there. Better road feel. Now, that's kind of subjective, because when I hit a heavy bump, it does kind of a little bit, but it kind of feels like the car's riding on rails, like coilovers, if you will say a little bit. It feels a lot more sharper, a lot more agile, ready to go. It's almost like I put coilovers in a sway bar on it by just changing the control arms. It's amazing how you can make that feeling with just something so small. And the turning radius, I feel like the turning radius has gotten better. I've been able to make U-turns without the 3-point system going on now. I don't know, call me a liar, whatever the case may be, but I've noticed that now making U-turns, I don't know, the car feels like it has a little bit more, angle. So if you look down here, you can tell I zip tied. Now I don't know if you could see it or not, but I zip tied the headlight sensor. Like I said, I go to Home Depot and find a bolt. It's not that serious to me, even if the zip tie snaps off or whatever. It's not that serious. The headlights just be misaligned, and I noticed that on the road. But yeah, I gotta get a bolt for that. I will get a bolt for that. But so essentially what you're gonna be looking out for is this inside right here wearing out a lot more than the outside. Now these tires were originated from the rear of the car when I had my 255s on the rear. So you can already tell it already shows some signs of, you know, wearing out on it. But little to no life left in these tires anyway, so I'm just gonna go ahead and full send. Now, yeah, so I ain't gonna hold it with you guys. I gotta wrap this part of the video up because the next video, when I talk about the brake calipers, well, that's gonna happen right now too. So I'll go ahead and throw in some driving clips on how it feels or how it performs or whatever the case may be. But like I said, I'm pretty much happy with this mod. If you guys want to do this modification, remember, rear wheel drive cars only. It's pretty straightforward. Have a shop do it. Just order stuff off of FCP where you get lifetime warranty, or ECS if you want a little bit cheaper price. And yeah, you guys take care. Have a good day. Mike from Slow Speed. I gotta get out of here because I'm gonna go ahead and record what I did to the brake calipers, which you guys already know because you see it, but who cares? Goodbye. Peace.